Assalamu alaikum, hörmətli televizor köykülər. Bugün 2014 yılı 9 ayının 4 günü Kanada'nın Toronto şəhərində Sherqiy Turkistan Milli Kurishining Upuqliri və Xirislar namlıq ilmi muhakeme yığını resmi başlandı. Bu konferansni Kanada'da fəaliyyət elib berilayotgan Sherqiy Turkistan Medeniyet Merkizi orunlashturdi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, we would like to show video that explained situation of East Turkestan and what's happening in East Turkestan right now, but because of some of the technical difficulty, we could not show that film. I'm sorry about that, but anyway, that was a very small part of the picture. Situation in East Turkestan is worsening day by day. It's a very critical, and it's always urging us to do something and to take the right action. That's why we are here today for perspectives and the challenges of East Turkestan National Movement Conference hosted by East Turkestan Cultural Center in Canada. I can say that this is not only a conference. This is a commitment on how we can work together to save the nation, the Uyghurs, who's facing mass killings and ethnic cleansing by the Chinese government. We have here our distinguished guests, Honorable Canadian Parliament members, Willow Lizen, and we have another 2 Parliament members. One of them will be a little bit late, and one of them can't come today. I'm sorry about that. And we have other support organizations like One Free World International and Tibetan Community. We also have famous Uyghur writers, politicians, human rights activists, reporters from all over the world, and thank you very much for everyone. I'm so honored to be with you today here moderating this opening ceremony. Thank you very much for that. Assalamu alaikum, hörmətli xanımlar, bəndilər. Əslində biz bir video arqılıb Sherqiy Turkistanın hazırki kritikal əhvalını göstərmək istidik, amma bəzi texniklik səbəblər tüpəylə göstərməyə qaldıq. Belki özür dilerim, Xirislar. Biz bilimiz o videonu göstermesek mi, bizning Sherqiy Turkistondagi xalqimizning qanday qabahatli hayotni yashayotganligini, vaziyatning qanday jiddiyligini hammamiz pek yaxshi bilamiz. Bizni davomli bir ish qilishga, xalqimiz uxlamasdan jiddiy o'ylashga, harakatga o'tishga undab turmoqda. Shu sababdan biz Kanadadagi Uyg'urlar bu Kanada Sherqiy Turkistan Medeniyet Merkizi bu konferansni uyushtirdi. Sherqiy Turkistan Milli Kurishining Upuqliri va Xirislar degan konferansni. Asli bu konferensiga bütün tashkilotlarning vakillarini taklif qilib, bir o'zaro moslashganlik, jiddiy harakatga o'tish, Uyg'urimizning hozirgi vaziyati uchun bir narsa qilish uchun uyushtirilgan bir konferens edi. Nurg'un sabablar tufayli ba'zi tashkilotlarimizning vakillari kelamadi. Ya'ni shundaqdimi, nurg'un mehmonlarimiz ijroqni demay bu konferensiga qatnashib keldi. Ularga mushu yig'inning riyosatchisi bo'lish bilan shundaqla Sherqiy Turkistan Medeniyet Merkizininki bir member bo'lish bilan chin ko'nglimdan rahmat aytaman. Kelganlarga ko'p rahmat. Please stand up for Canadian and East Turkestan National Anthem.
Command with love.
Mr. Ahmedjan Osman for his keynote speech. He is the president of East Turkestan Cultural Center. Hazır Ahmedjan Osman'ni muhim söz qilishga taklif qilamiz. Hammadan qarshilaydi.
Assalamu alaikum hürmetli mehmanlar, qarindoshlar.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Bizning bu qatimqi Sherqiy Turkistan Milli Medeniyet Merkizimizden sahipxonlarga chaqirgan Sherqiy Turkistan Milli Kurishining Upuqliri ve Xirislar degan bu temadagi ilmiy muhokamamizga davlatning xalqaro davlatdan kelgan barliq vakillarimizni qizg'in qarshi olamiz bilan.
Welcome for coming challenges and the perspectives of East Turkestan National Movement Conference. Thank you for coming all over the world, and thank you for our distinguished guests and Canadian Parliament members.
Bizninki hazır yürü turup ihtiram bilen anlaman müzik marşımız Sherqiy Turkistan'ın devlet marşı.
We just listened Canadian National Anthem and East Turkestan National Anthem.
Şundaklar bizim iki tarafımızda turvatkanı Sherqiy Turkistan'ın devlet bayrağı.
And we all know this is a Canadian flag and this is the East Turkestan national flag.
Şundakla bizim aldığımızda sözler turvatkanda körüvatkanımla Sherqiy Turkistan devletinin devlet görevi.
And this is a national anthem of East Turkestan.
Demek biz bir işgal kılınan devletinin halkı, biz işgal kılınan devletinin fuqaroları.
So we were the colonized people.
Bizim zeminimiz Xitoy bosqinchilari tarafidan ishg'ol qilingan bir zemin. Bu hergizmi Xitoyning ayrılmaz bir qismi emas.
Our country is not part of the China. Our country was invaded by China and colonized by China.
Şuna mushundaq besilgan bir zeminde yaşayotgan xalqning besilg'ishga qarshi milliy qarshilik ko'rsatish haqqi bor. Bu bir insoniy haq ve bütün xalqaro qonunlarda e'tirof qilingan haq.
So the people who were colonized has a right to fight against the colonized country, fight against the invaders. That's very simple rights of those colonized people, and it's the basic human right.
Endi Sherqiy Turkistan xalqining mana mushundaq haq huquqlarini besilg'ish bo'lgan Xitoy davlati terrorizm deb atab kelmoqda.
But Chinese government labeling these rights as a terrorism.
Endi agar biz Cumhuriyet Xalq Cumhuriyetining ayrılmaz bir qismi shaklidagi bir zemin bo'lib, Cumhuriyet milletlerinin ichidagi bir millet bo'lib, mushundaq qurolli tinchlik yo'llari bilan, yo'llar bilan harakat qilgan bo'lsak, u chog'da biz ham milliy bo'lgunchi, ham terrorizmchi bo'lgan bo'lardik.
If we were a part of China, if my people is just a minority in the Chinese country, then if we fight against them, if some people call or China call this as a terrorism, then they have a right to say that. But we are not.
Biroq biz o'zimizning besilgan zeminini qaytarib olishimiz uchun, o'zimizning elangan milliy mustaqilligimizni qaytarib olish uchun kurash qilayotganligimiz uchun bu hech qachon terrorizm deb atalmaydi. Bu bir xalqningki o'zining erkinligi uchun qilayotgan milliy kurashi.
For this, Chinese government should recognize the East Turkestan cause.
Şundaqla Sherqiy Turkistan meselesini siyasi yol bilan hal qilish kerak.
The Chinese government and East Turkestan people should solve this East Turkestan cause with political way.
Endi Xitoy hukumati Sharq Turkiston meselesini itiraf qilmaydi. Sharq Turkiston meselesini siyosiy yo'l bilan hal qilmaydi. Bunda asosda va shuningdan birga Sharqiy Turkiston xalqining milliy qarshilik kurish harakatlarini davlat terrorizmi yurgizgan holda bostiradi va shundaqla milliy qirg'inchilik qilib boradi. Buning uchun biz o'zimizni qo'llashga majbur bo'lamiz.
But Chinese government never recognized the East Turkestan cause. What was our problems? What's our rights? They don't want to care about that. That's why we have to fight against that. And they force us against the repression, fight against Chinese government.
Shundaqla Xitoy hukumatiningki biz ko'rsatayotgan davlat terrorizmi va milliy qirg'inchiligi buningga biz qanday taqobil turamiz? Buni xalqaro jamiyatga uqtirishni, bildirishni xohlaymiz.
And Chinese government using state terrorism, we want to bring our people's voices. How are we going to deal with this state terrorism from now on?
Endi Milli 1990-yilda barin Xirislar Sharqiy Turkistondan Zeyn'din Yusufga o'xshash milliy qahramonlarimiz qo'ral ko'tarib inqilob qilsin.
No matter what kind means of the resistance, the 1990s Barin incidents, the Uyghurs use violence against the army, against the Chinese government.
Ve Milli ilham to'xtaga o'xshash qonun yolları bilen Xitoyning Şinjan'da atalmış Şinjan Uyghur Abdunum rayonunda bekitgan qonunlarını icra qilishni talab qilsin.
Or like our human rights activist Ilham Tohti, peacefully ask the Chinese government's love and us Chinese governments follow their own constitution.
Ve yani Abdüveli Ayıp'a o'xshash, bizim ziyaremiz Abdüveli Ayıp'a o'xshash, fakat Uyghur tilini saqlab qilish, Xitoyning Uyghur tilini, Uyghur medeniyeti yo'qotishiga qarshi Uyghur tilini saqlab qilish uchun kurash qilsin.
Or like Abdüveli Ayıp, another human rights activist, just fighting for the preserve our national mother tongue, the Uyghur language. He just fight for the keep the Uyghur language.
Mana mushundaq şekillerde qilayotgan kurashlarning hammasi Xitoy hukumatining oldida terrorizm atilib, shu 3 men ismini atagan 3 odamning hammasi ya o'ldirildi, ya qatl qilindi, ya turmaga tashlandi.
All of those kinds of resistance fighting, no matter what kind of means, violence or peaceful way, all of them were imprisoned, executed, or tortured by the Chinese government.
Terrorism.
And Chinese government called terrorism, all of them.
Endi mushundaq şekillerde, mushundaq o'xshamagan şekillerde qilayotgan milliy qarshilik kurashimizning hammasi terrorizm deb atalgan vaqtida xalqaro jamiyatmi buni terrorizm deb tushunsa, u chog'da Sharqiy Turkiston xalqining milliy qarshilik kurashdan iborat bu muqaddas haqqini inkor qilgan bo'ladi, e'tirof qilgan.
If the world follow Chinese government and whatever their propaganda say, believe that what we are doing, what we are fighting for against Chinese government is a terrorism, that's mean the international world does not recognize our rights.
Şuna Sharqiy Turkiston xalqi o'zlarining xalqarodagi va vatanchilik tashkilotlari orqali
That's why East Turkestan people through international organizations in exile, Uyghur organizations in exile, and the organization is inside East Turkestan. Ask one thing from international world.
Bu bozumu Sharqiy Turkiston xalqining milliy qarshilik ko'rsatish haqqini e'tirof qilishi, Sharqiy Turkiston xalqininki Sharqiy Turkiston masalasiga iborat shunday bir masalasini to'g'ri tushunishi va shundaqla Xitoy hokimiyatiga bu xalqqa qarshi milliy devlet terörizmi ve milli kırgınçılığını yürgüzmezlikini talep kılıyor.
Ask just the one thing, that recognize Uyghurs' rights to get back their own country, recognize Uyghurs' basic rights.
Ve şundakla Xitay hükümetiyle besim işletip bu Şarkı Türkistan meselesini tinçlik yoluyla hal kılışta ündüşünü uygular.
And give pressure to Chinese government peacefully solve the Uyghurs problem.
Şundak boğandalar halkara cemiyetmi bizninki milli karşılık kürsümüzün nimeligini ve şundakla Xitay teşvik etken terörizm ma'nosinin nimeligini yaxshi tushunib
Only the international governments, international world send independent investigation to East Turkestan. Then they're going to find out what's happening over there, what kind of propaganda Chinese government giving, and what is the truth. Then we can gain the...
Siyasi yolu bilen hal kılışka Şarkı Türkistan halkı devamlı tayyar olur.
Then East Turkestan people going to be ready to peacefully solve the problem.
Hem de devlet terörizminin aldıda biz işini kılamayız. Muşu halkara cemiyetinin Xitay bilen hal kıladığan meselelerden biri. Hep öğrenimiz.
The Uyghurs can't do anything in front of the state terror. I think the international world, the Uyghurs cause has to be one of the international problems.
Biz muşu yerde hazır Kanadalık sükütümüz bilen, Uyghur Kanadalıklar sükütümüz bilen, Kanada hükümetimizdir mi, özümüzün Kanada hükümetimizdir mi, muşu meselelerini Xitay dövülen yaxşı süzlüşüp Şarkı Türkistan halkının tinçlik yolu bilen özünün milli meselesini anlayışı ve özünün milli müstakillığını qo'lga keltirish uchun yordam berishini umid qilamiz.
Anything happening in East Turkestan in Violence Act because of the Chinese repression. That's why we're asking from Canadian government, give pressure to Chinese government peacefully solve the Uyghurs problems.
Biz hemmimiz, yine ahirde bizden berdiğan mesajımız halkara cemiyetke ve halkara cemiyetke kişilik hukuk teşkilatlarına biz devamlı her zaman terörizmle karşı. Biz terörist halk emas. Biz özümüzden milli müstakillığını qo'lga keltirish uchun muqaddas, haqqoniy kurashlarimizni ilib berayotgan bir xalqimiz.
Our message to the international world that Uyghurs are not terrorists. We are just fighting to get back our country, to get back our basic rights.
Endi bizning aytayotgan bu yig'inimizda asosiy maqsadimi bütün sürgündeki Sherqiy Turkistan teşkilatlarını muşu yerga yig'ib akilib, muşu teşkilatlarımız orqali o'rtaq bir muşu mesajını xalqaro jamiyatga bermoqchi va shundaqla Xitoy hukumatiga bermoqchi.
Today's conference is the same, meetings are the same. We would like to gather all of the organizations, Uyghur organizations here, send this message. This message is, I just translated, Uyghurs are not terrorists, and we against any kind of terrorism, and we would like to solve peacefully Uyghurs problem. Uyghurs cause.
Hemenlerin bu üzerine iştirak kılanlara rahmet, hemenlerini karşı alın.
Right now, I would like to invite our distinguished guests, Honorable Canadian Parliament Member, Mr. Vladislav Lizin. I'm very pleased to invite Mr. Vladislav Lizin. He's a Conservative MP of Canada and Conservative MP of Mississauga, East Coxville. Yeah. And he's also founding member of Tribute to Liberty, an organization dedicated to building national movement in Ottawa to honor the victims of communism. He always stand up for all cultural communities, and he also was the director of Canadian Ethno-Cultural Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Really don't need a microphone. But well, I'm very honored to be here at this conference. Thank you for your invitation. This is the riding I represent, Mississauga Cooksville.
Ben Mississauga Cooksville'nin parlament azası bulunan bu yılın gelgenliğinden imtihan kursanından memnunum.
And I'm really very happy to be joined by people that I've known for some time, Reverend Majid Al-Shafi. Well, we have here our guest from the Tibetan community, what is also very, very important to be. We do collaborate together, and this is the first time for me to be with representatives of East Turkistan.
Bir Dünya Erkillik Teşkilatı'nınki Prezidenti Mecid Efendi bilen burada tanışattım, onun bilen bir yerde görüşkünüm için imtihan koşalım istifatım ben. Şunda Tibet'le komünitenin burada tanıştım, ulanın vekilinden görüşkenliğimden nait hoş oldum bugün. Ama Sherqiy Turkistanlıklarını yaxşı bilmektenken Uyghur komüniteyle birinci kıtım Sherqiylik görüşüm.
I would like to say a few words about myself because the freedom, the democracy is very dear to my heart. I came to this country as an immigrant from Poland. I was born and raised in Poland. I was communist at that time because communists took over Poland after the Second World War. And it was done not only through work of Polish diaspora in Europe and in other countries, but it was done with support, and I don't think it could have been done any other way, with the support of major powers at that time, because Poland regained independence in 1918 after the First War, and the major powers were very similar to what it is today, because it was the United States of America, England, and France. There were three major powers that supported Poland's independence.
Poland'daki müstakilliğine ilişkin şu Uygurların teşkilatları oluşuş, Poland'ın sırtıdaki vatan sırtıdaki teşkilatlarının, erkeklik teşkilatlarının güçlü bulup kalması, şu dünyadaki güçlü devletlerinin yani Amerika, İngiltere, Fransa'ya oluşuş güçlü devletlerinin ki kollaşıp olmaksa müstakilliğine.
And then, of course, after a short period of time before the Second War, 21 years, and the Second War happened, and after the war, Poland fell under the control of Soviet Union. And probably some of you know that it was due to the democratic movement of the Solidarity Labor Union that I was part of.
Solidarity Movement'ın birleşmesinin şu hafta düşündüğüm kuruldu, o müstemlik bu kanundaki. Ben şununki bir azasıyım.
Communism fell apart. Communism was defeated, and this year, actually, Poland celebrated 25 years of the fall of communism.
Şu ben komünizm parçalandığı ikimiz erkekimiz erişti. Hazır Poland özününki müstakilliğinki komünistlerden kurtulganlığını 25 yıllarını tebrikledik bu işin.
The reason I'm saying this is that to encourage you to work together, not only within your own group, but collaborate with others that are fighting for similar goals to achieve similar outcomes that you want to achieve.
Ben sizlerle bizge okşaş müstakil erkinlikka erişişinlarni umid qilaman. Shundoq bo'lish uchun sizlar bu o'zinglarning ichidagi guruhlar bilan birlashib harakat qilib xizmat qilmasdan bizning tarixlarimizdan o'rganib bizga o'xshash boshqa dunyo xalqi bilan birlikda kurash qilishinglarni.
And I truly hope that your goals can be achieved in a peaceful way. It is very important. For me personally, looking back from the time perspective, I think the biggest victory of solidarity was that the big change was achieved without major bloodshed. And this is important for anywhere in the world. If you look at the world today, people are dying in East Ukraine, in Syria, in Iraq, in Africa, in so many countries. And looking at history of the world and history of wars, we know that at the end of the conflict, people have to sit down at the table and negotiate. Therefore, if we can skip that part where people fight and go directly to the table, this would be a great achievement. I'm waiting for you. Go ahead.
Ben sizlar chin ko'nglimdan Uyg'ur xalqininki mustaqillik erishishini, erkinlik erishishini ben chin ko'nglimdan umid qilaman. Hozir masalan dunyoning hamma yerida masalan Suriyada urush bo'lyotdi, Iroqda urush bo'lyotdi, boshqa yerlarda urush bo'lyotdi. Ammo biz shu butun masalani bir jo'ziga o'tirib hal qilmoqchi, eng oxirida shu urushlar bo'lsin, ya'ni baribir bir jo'ziga kelib o'tirib hal qiladigan ish bu. Agar shunday urushlar bo'lmaydi, o'tiradigan ish bo'lgan bo'lsa, bek yaxshi bo'ldi. Lekin yana bizning aqlligimiz oxirida bergan jo'ziga o'tirishga to'g'ri keldi. Shunga biz ashning uchun kuchsak yaxshi bo'ladi.
Therefore, in conclusion, I would like to wish you a very, very successful conference, but also I would like to assure you that you will always have my support, and my door is open whenever you need advice, help. I will be always your supporter, because it really doesn't matter whether people anywhere in the world are persecuted for their religious beliefs, because of the ethnic background, of any other differences, political views. It's wrong. It's wrong. People should not be prosecuted because of any of those. People should be treated equally, regardless of their faith, regardless of their political views, regardless of their ethnic background, of their ethnicity. And as I said, you will always have my support. Therefore, I hope to work with you in the future. And I know, as I said before, to achieve your goals, you will need to lobby and get support of major players in this world. And I don't think this is not achievable. This is achievable. It may take time. As I said, I mean, when I said 120 years to 23 years to Poland, it may seem very long. When I was growing up, people like my parents that remember normal democratic country didn't believe that a big change will happen in our lifetime, but it did. Sometimes it happens much quicker than we think. We just have to all work together. And you know, if people work together, they create huge force, huge power, and they can make and create big changes. Therefore, thank you very much for inviting me. A great conference. I had a chance to go to a few places in the world with Reverend Shafi. Probably he will be speaking about this. I've been to many events with the Tibetan community. Your situation in China is very similar to Tibet. Therefore, I hope we can all work together to bring the big and lasting change in the world. Thank you very much.
Ben chin ko'nglimdan shu konferensning g'alabalik echilishini umid qilaman, sizlarga qutlayman. Mening ishim sizlarga har zaman ujuq. Her zaman qanday vaqt kelsanlar men sizlarni qo'llayman. Chunki hech qanday bir inson, hech qanday bir millat dunyoda diniy jihatdan yoki boshqa jihatdan bostirilmasligi, zulmga uchirmasligi kerak, haq-huquqlari e'tirof qilinishi kerak. Bu bir oddiy haq-huquq, bunday bostirilish butunlay xato. Sizlarning to'g'ri, sizlarning da'voinglar to'g'ri haqda. To'g'ri bir haq da'vo uchun kurash qilish bu oxirida cho'qim g'albaga ifodasi men bunga ishonmayman. Masalan, bizning Pollandami 123 yil ketgan, bu nihoyatda bir uzun vaqt. Masalan, men bola vaqtlarimda mening ota-onam bizniki mustaqil bo'lishga, demokratiyaga erishishimizga hech qachon hayotda ishonmagan. Ammo bu shunday bir bo'ldi, bu o'zgarish paydo bo'ldi yani. Buludu çokum çünkü to'g'ri ish haq da'vo aman g'alaba bo'ldi. Xato ishni ustida g'alaba bo'ldi. Shunday mumkin bo'ldi. Ba'zida uzun vaqt ketishi mumkin, ba'zida qisqa vaqt ketishi uchun qisqa vaqt ketishi mumkin. Ammo bu cho'qim haq ta'sirini topadi, bu bo'ldigan ish. Shunga sizlarga umid qilinglar. Sizlarning ishinglarga muvaffaqiyat tilayman. Sizlarning bu xalqaro jamiyatlar bilan birlashib, vatanlarning buzish Uyg'urlarning huquqlari uchun kurash qilishinglarni umid qilaman. Ham sizlarning ishingizni qo'llayman. Now I would like to invite to the stage our friend, distinguished guest, Majid Al-Shafi. He was a religious freedom fighter. He's fighting for religious freedom all over the world, and he's supporting the Uyghur community since a few years, many years, right? And he's the president of One Free World International. Please, Majid.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's an honor to be here with you this morning. In my eyes, you are all heroes. In my eyes, you and your people is the true freedom fighters here. The resistance and the zeals and the strength of the Uyghur people is beyond anybody's imagination or beliefs. Their strength is behind words. Yes, behind words. No, it's their strength or their zeals is beyond any words can describe.
Okay, Uygurlarning bu kuchi, bu xalqi uchun kurash qiladigan bu g'ayratini tasavvur qilg'isiz darajadagi bir kuch. Adam tasavvur qila olmaydi.
You are fighting what we call in the West the sleeping dragon.
Sizlar uxlayotgan dragon bilan kurashyapsizlar. Ejderha bilan kurashyapsizlar.
We need another translation. They have their weapons. They have their strong army. But we have God Almighty.
Yağlılık çıkanlarını, yağlılığını eli bitişkin mecbur kılmatıdı, tümüler taşınmatıdı, hatta avtobüsü çıkışı reddilmadı.
And the worst disaster that the whole world watching this massacre and not doing anything about it.
Yani içinizliği bütün dünya muşunda kırgınçılıkla gözünü yumup kararttırıp hiç nimi kılmadı.
China become our Canadian moral dilemma.
Bu Xitay bizninki bir ahlaki krizisimiz aynı kalıyor.
Not just in Canada but the whole world.
Just bu fakat Kanada'la emez, bütün dünya başta bu problem.
When your trade, when your international trade and your economic is way more important than your conscience and your human rights.
Dünya için, devletler için bu iktisadi menfaat, iktisadi soda, insan haklarından, başka insanların hukuklarından muhim orunga çıkarıldığından müşinda bir ahlaki kriz çıkardı.
In November 2006,
2006 yılı 11. ayda
our Prime Minister Stephen Harper indicated that our Canadian values, you cannot put a signed dollar on it.
Bizdeki Prime Ministerimiz Stephen Harper, men insan haklarını dolarla satmayı diyendi.
And we appreciate the Canadian government. They refused to go to the Olympics Games in China, and they even give His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, they give him a Canadian citizenship.
Biz Kanada hükümetindeki Xitay'daki Xitay'da olimpik yetişte karşı durganlıkka rahmet etimiz. Şundaqla Dalai Lamaga grajanlıkta egenligiga rahmet etimiz.
We have here friends from the Conservative Party. Lizion traveled with me before to Washington D.C. and India. We traveled together to these areas.
Bir yerde dostum parlament azası Vladislav Lizin oturttu memnunluğundan bizler India'ya
and Washington D.C.
and America, Washington D.C.
And very soon we'll have Brad Pitt. He's coming just 15 minutes away. He just came. We just returned back from Iraq just 2 days ago.
Bizim yanında bir parlament azasımız var. O Mr. Brad Pitt hazır 15 minut geçti. Biz çünkü biz Irak'a gelken gün oldu.
We went to Armenia, Turkey, and Iraq, and we just returned back. And he will be with us in 15 minutes. Me and Mr. Lizion, who was talking outside before the conference,
ben dostum Lizin bilen konferansında başlamıştım. Bunun taladı sırtta bir gap konuştu.
And we was debating and we was hoping
biz münazara kıldık ve ümit bulduk.
That some of you will take our pictures and will send it to the Chinese embassy.
Biz taladı durmuş da münazara kıldık. Biz müşahede birisi çokum biz o resimimizin tadı Xitay konusunda evvel yapıyoruz.
Please do.
Başta kullanılan.
Even though our Canadian government is standing strong and firm on the human rights principles here in Canada. Okay, what's that?
Gerçi Kanada hükümeti insan hakları prensiplerinde demokratiyada çın durvatkan bolsun.
But the Canadian government is not perfect. The Canadian government is not perfect.
Bırak Kanada hükümetini ben muhteşem diyemem.
And the Canadian government can do much more when it comes to the human rights in China.
Aslında Kanada hükümeti bunun güç çıkarılış gerekti Xitay komünizmine karşı demokratiye.
Even though our Prime Minister declared that he cannot put price on the Canadian conscience in November 2006,
gerçi bizim Prime Ministerimiz 2006 November'da ben insan haklarını dolarla satmayı diyen bolsun Xitay'dan.
Yet the Canadian government signed the Canuck deal, the Nixon deal.
Bırak bu hükümet Nixon deal kılıp Nixon kampanyasına Xitay'a sattı.
Which allow a Canadian, which allow Chinese Canuck, which allow Chinese state company to control some of our Canadian resources.
Bunda kılganda Xitay'ın kampanyaları Xitay hükümeti bizden bazı meblağlarımızı Xitay hükümetinin kontrolünde tutmalı. Kanada kullanmıyor.
The Canadian government signed FIBA, which is the international trade agreement with the Chinese communist regime.
Hem de Kanada hükümeti şu halkaralık erkin soğuk şartnaması Xitay'la imza koydu.
Without one mention of respecting the human rights in China.
Her ağız Xitay hükümetiga insan haklarını hürmet kılsa diyen gibi demezsin, şunda soğuduğu imza koydu.
And here, this is our moral dilemma. Is our finance and our economic is more important than the blood, the red blood of the innocent?
Bunu şunu körülüşke buldu ki, hazır bizim müşahede, bizdeki iktisadi menfaatimiz, soğudumuz, tökülüp atkan konulardan mühim orunga, insanların hak hukuklarından mühim orunga uçup kaldığı diyen gibi. Bu şunda bir ahlaki kriz kaldı.
And I need to tell you, I prefer to be a poor Canadian and have principles than to be a rich Canadian without conscience.
Ben şunda bir Kanada'nın konuştuğu halayım ki, şunda kembagal yeşinemem, yeşkandak nesem yok olsun mu, demokratiya prensipleri çın turalaydıgan buluşunu halayım. Mesela yukarı tabiqadı bulup, naiti bayıqılım bulup, bu tüm prensiplerde turammasam ne payısı, şuna ben prensiplerde turalaydıgan, demokratik prensiplerde turalaydıgan bir Kanada'nın konuştuğu.
Now, I don't believe in violence. And I don't believe in killing civilians under any circumstances. If they are Uyghurs or if they are Chinese national, I am against any violence or any killing of any civilians.
Meyli Uyghur bolsun, meyli Xitay bolsun, her qandaq bir günahsız xalqniki zo'ravonlik shaklida o'ldirishiga men qarshi.
And I believe that you and your beliefs and your organizations will agree with me.
Men sizlarga ishonaman, sizlarning tashkilotlaringizga ishonaman, sizlarning maqsad nishonlaringizga qo'shilaman.
We can see an examples with Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and Nelson Mandela.
Biz sizlarga desak, Martin Luther King'ni misal tutasak, Gandhi'ni misal tutasak,
people that they fought peacefully and they got their rights. But there is one thing we need to understand, that this solution will not be solved. Do you want me to wait until these guys finish what they're doing?
We can get the projector on as well, on the back.
Okay. Okay. Do we carry on? We need to remember and we need to know that the only solution of this problem, the problem and the persecution that's facing the Uyghur community,
biz esimizda mushu Uyg'ur zulm uchratgan Uyg'urlarning masalasini qanday bir hal qilishni tutishimiz kerakki.
that we stand together
Faqat biz birlikda turgan vaqtimizda,
in unity.
birlashgan vaqtimizda
We have to remember that the Uyghur problem is not just for the Uyghur people, it's for every nation and for every religion around the world.
Ondan hal buldu, biz Uyg'ur masalasini Uyg'urlarning masalasi emas, butun dunyoning masalasiligini esimizda tutishimiz kerak.
I don't care if you are Muslim or Christian or Jewish or Falun Gong or Buddha, and I don't care or Hindu or Sikh. You have to stand beside the Uyghur people because it's a matter of human rights, it's for all.
Meyli Hindi dinde bulun, meyli Budist bulun, yoki Müslüman bulun, Hristiyan bulun, meyli qandaq bir dinde bulun, Uyg'urlarning haq-huquqlari tarafda turishimiz kerak va shunday bo'lishini umid qilmoq qo'llayman. Chunki bu Uyg'urlarning inson haqlari.
Among the silence of the cultures of our world,
Dunyodagi hukumatlarningki jim turib olgan hukumatlar ichida,
Westerner countries and even Arab Muslim countries, that they remain in silence about the genocide and the massacre of the Uyghur people in China.
Bunun içinde şu jim turib olgan davlatlarimizda G'arb davlatlarimi bor, Arab, Musulmon davlatlarimi bor.
We have to talk. We are the conscious. We are the front line.
Biz so'zlashimiz kerak chunki biz davlat, biz
The front line.
oldimizda.
Our world is not a perfect world. It's a very dark world. Okay?
Sizning davlatimiz, bizning dunyomiz, biz yashayotgan bu dunyo bir noyati go'zal dunyo emas, bir qorong'u dunyo.
Can they do this after I'm done? This is a possibility?
Yes, please.
It's okay. Focus with me. It's okay. Just focus with me.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
We have to remember that today, this problem, among the silence of our world, it's up to us to bring it to the attention of our politicians.
Bizning hozir qildigan ishimiz bizning siyosatchilarimizning diqqatini mush masalaga burash.
It's up to us to vote when the election comes to the politicians or to the political party that will listen to us.
Biz vot bergan vaqtida, ya'ni oy bergan vaqtimizda bizning gapimizni anglaydigan partiyalarning bir a'zolariga vot berishimiz kerak, oy berishimiz kerak.
You're making this step again, Brad. Mr. Brad is a member of the Canadian Parliament. We just returned back from trip from Armenia and Turkey and Iraq just 3-4 days ago. And he's late as usual. Don't worry about it.
I'm I'm here.
Do you want to translate that? I would like them to know that.
Our parliament member, Mr. Brad, is a good friend of Majid Al-Shati.
That's fine. That's a given. That's a given.
Bu parlament a'zosi Mr. Brad hazır kirdi meniki yaxshi do'stim. Biz Iroqlarga Armeniyaga berib, taxir 2 kun bo'ldi tagin va avvalgi buni qilgan parlament a'zosi. Özümüzün xalqimizning ovozi bo'layotganligini, ovoz ekanligimizni esimizda chang tutishimiz kerak.
I'm not from the Uyghur community. I'm not the Uyghur. I'm an Egyptian background.
Men Uyg'urlardan emas, men Misrli.
And yet I will stand with you until the end of the conflict.
Biroq men sizlar bilan o'sha oxirigacha masalalar hal bo'lguncha sizlar bilan.
My people is your people, and your people is my people. And I will fight side by side with you, because in the end of the day, I will stand in front of God, and He will ask me if I satisfied my conscience defending you or not.
Yeninglarda turma, chunki u dunyoda Alloh mendan sen haqiqat turdingmi deb so'raganda javob berishim kerak.
We have to unite our voices. Doesn't matter who you are and which kind of group you are. We have to unite our voices. We have to use our voices even during the election time.
O'zimizniki ovozni birlashtirishimiz kerak. Sizlarning gruplarning emas, boshqa hamma gruplar birlashib, bo'pmoqchi saylan vaqtida siyosatchilarga qanday ovozimizni yetkazishda birlashib xizmat qilishimiz.
And we have to use our influence. If the Conservative Party will listen to us, we'll vote for them. If the Liberal Party will listen to us, we'll vote for them. If the NDP listen to us, we'll vote for them. You go ahead.
Biz birli partiyani kayinda maqmaymiz. Agar konservativlar bizni olsa, biz ularga bilet tashlaymiz. Agar Demokrat NDP'niki bizning gapimizdan olsa, biz ularga bilet tashlaymiz. Liberal partiyiniki gapimizdan olsa, biz ularga bilet tashlaymiz.
People of God. People of God. I'm calling them people of God. It's fine. People.
Allah'ın bendeleri.
Allah'ın bendeleri. Allah'ın hakkıydan.
I stand among you right now to remind you of one simple fact.
Ben sizlerge bir şeyde turuş arkalık bir adli bir hakikatini yapılmakçıyım.
Our enemy have very strong army.
Düşmanımızın o naiti güçlük askeri var.
Our enemy have very strong weapon.
Naiti güçlük zamanevi kuralları var.
But we have the Lord Almighty.
Bizimki
Allah'ımız var.
After every night, there is new morning carrying new day.
Her bir karanlık geceden bir gündüz tamatıdı.
And after every storm, there is sunshine.
Boran çapkından keyin gün çokum atlap çıktı.
And after every persecution, there is victory.
Her bir zulümden keyin çokum galip oldu geldi.
We refuse to be a victim, and we choose to be a victor.
Biz devamlı bunda zulüm köygücü bulmay, galip kıgıcı buluşunu tanışımız gerek.
We decide, as people, as Uyghur people,
Biz karar verişimiz gerek, kim buluşumuz ne?
that they can destroy our mosques. They can destroy our mosques.
Ular bizden mescitlerimizi veyran kıldılar.
But they cannot destroy our faith and our hearts.
Ular bizden mescitlerimizi veyran kıldığı mümkün. Lakin bizden itikadımızı, imanımızı veyran kılamayız.
They can kill and arrest our religious leaders.
Ular bizdeki dinli rehberlerimizni, dinli ulemalarımızı öldürüşü mümkün.
but they will never be able to burn the Quran and his teaching in our hearts. Remember this as long as you live. Remember this as long as you live. They can kill the dreamer, but no one can kill the dream. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa. Thank you very much.
I got too close. It's indeed a pleasure for me to join all of you here this morning. As Reverend Al-Shafi said, I have just come back from a trip with his organization where we were in Turkey for 2 days in particular. And one of the main reasons that I go on these trips with One Free World is because Canada stands up for basic human rights, human dignity, and freedom of your faith.
Çünkü Kanada hükümeti asaslık insan hakları, insanların hak hukuki ve demokratiya prensipleri için kurulgan bir devlet ve şunun vekil buğalım için müşterek seferdir.
And when I go to other countries for visits, I'm proud to share with them these Canadian values.
Ben bu sefer jarayonida Kanadaning demokratik prensiplerini, qimmat qarashini bağlan yerlerinde başkalardan ortaklaştım.
As many of you will know, it was Prime Minister Harper who has established the Office for Religious Freedom.
Köpünce onlar bilisizler bizimki Prime Ministerimiz Stephen Harper dinni erkinlik işhanesi açtı.
And this is a key plank of Canada's foreign policy.
Bu Kanada'nın tashqi ishlar siyosadagi muhim bir ishlardan
that there has to be a link between political, economic, and human rights issues when Canada interacts with other countries around the world.
Kanada dünyadaki başka devletlerden münasebet qilganda inson haqlarini, iqtisodiy manfaatni ve siyosetni birlashtirib turib münasebet qilish kerak, birlashib berish kerak.
And you will see that when the Prime Minister travels throughout the world, including when he has traveled to China, he raises human rights issues with those governments because that is the Canadian way.
Bizdeki Prime Ministerimiz farklı başka devletlerini ziyaret kılmakta devamlı insan hakları meselesini keldi ve kelişi gerek çünkü bu Kanada'nınki kıymet karşı ve Kanada'nınki kıymet karşı.
And so all of us stand in solidarity with religious minorities throughout the world who are suffering persecution, discrimination, and unfortunately in those extreme circumstances are even paying with their lives.
Biz bütün dünyadaki dinni zulümge uçrayotgan millatlarning haq huquqlari uchun turimiz, qo'llaymiz ularni. Ular naiti köp zulüm ko'ryapti, hatto o'limga yuzlanadi.
Your right to worship whatever God you wish or worship no God at all is a basic human right.
Sizning bir dinga ishonishingizmayli qanday Xudoga ishonsangiz, qaysi dinga ishonishingizz yoki ishonmasligingiz u o'zingizning bir asosiy tanlashi, ya'ni asosli inson haqqingiz.
And so I want to let you know, obviously my other colleague Vladislav Litson was here, I want each and every one of you to know the Canadian parliamentarians stand with you, shoulder to shoulder, in ensuring the basic rights of freedom of religion are respected throughout the world.
Kanada hükümeti her zaman dinni erkinlikte, insan haklarında ve asaslı hak hukuklarında bütün dünyadaki milletlerine, zulüm görüyorken milletlerine çıntırdı ve kollaydı bunun işini.
And so we will continue to support you. We will continue to advocate on your behalf. We will continue to partner with groups like One Free World to make sure that every single human being throughout this world has that basic right to worship their God, to celebrate their faith, and to love one another. Thank you very much.
Sizlerle ahırgıç kollayımız, sizlerle meyli kaysıdın, kaysı dinde işlenmesliğin varlığın katı nazar, biz sizlerle kaynağları turumuz, sizler üçün sözleyiniz.
Now I would like to invite, I'm pleased to invite our friend Norbu Sering from Tibetan exile government.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor to be part of this international conference. The prospect and the challenges is Turkistan national movement. This is not only a East Turkistan movement, it's a Tibetan movement as well. I celebrate today.
Sherqiy Turkistan Milli Kurishining Upuqliri ve Xirislar konferansiga qatnashganligimdan ve sizlar bilan birga bo'lganligimdan intayin faxrlanman. Bu Sherqiy Turkistan masalasi sizlarning masalangiz emas, chunki mening Tibetdan emassiz.
I shared the chairs with the guests of honor here today, the Member of Parliaments from Canadian governments, Mr. Lyson and Mr. Brad, and also our the speakers for the voiceless like us, like yours, Reverend Al Sheffer. It's a pleasure working with him, and also it's a pleasure knowing Mr. Ruster, the president of East Turkistan Culture Center.
Ben bizningki Kanada parlament a'zolari bilan birga bo'lganligimdan Kanada parlament a'zosi bilan Listen and Mr. Brad bilan birga bo'lganligimdan endi shundaqla mening do'stim Majid Al-Shafiy bilan andan keyin Ahmadjon Osmon bilan birga bo'lganligimdan doimiy faxrlanib bilan shunday xushal bo'laman. Ularning ko'z qarashlari
I'm democratically elected by the Tibetan people in North America, representing the Member of Parliament to Tibetan Parliament in exile.
Ben Kanada'daki şu Torontodiki Tibet community Terpidin Tibet sürgündeki Tibet hükümetinin parlament a'zosiga saylandim.
We are going through the same tortures, same repressions by the brutal Chinese government.
Biz sizlarga o'xshashlar, Uyg'urlarga o'xshashlar Xitoy hukumati tarafidan qiyin qisqartib uchratimiz va zulm uchratimiz.
Like your brothers and sisters and our brothers and sisters are facing every day a miserable life in Tibet and Uyghur under the Red Chinese government.
Bizninki qarindoshlarimiz, Tibetlik qarindoshlarimiz va Sharq Turkistondagi Uyg'urlarning qarindoshları, Islamning qarindoshları va shunday bizning qarindoshlarimiz har kuni, har minut Xitoy qizil kommunistlarininki, Xitoy qizil hukumatininki dahshatli zulmga uchrayapti.
Like Uyghurs are demanding that you need the basic human rights, basic human needs, your own culture to be recognized, your language to be recognized, and your people and your culture, religion, that should be recognized. This is a basic human rights we are asking. Same way the Tibetans are asking the same thing. We are looking for a small just as small, the religious culture and the language freedom. That's all we are asking.
Bizimiz sizlarga o'xshashli Xitoy hukumatidan bizga diniy erkinligimizni berishni, so'zlash erkinligimizni berishni, eng oddiy odatdagi inson huquqlarimizni berishni talab qilyapmiz. Bizning talab qilganimiz Xitoy hukumatidan sizlarnikiga o'xshash.
However, rather than coming to the dialogue, peacefully negotiation with the Uyghur, Tibetan, Mongolian by the Chinese government, instead of coming to the dialogue table, they label us Tibetan as a separatist, Uyghur as a terrorist. So there is no fair and justice in the communist regime.
Biroq Tibetlar biz Xitoy hukumati bilan tinchlik yo'lda bir jo'ziga kelib suhbat o'tkazaylik degandik, lekin ular buningga kamidi, rad qildi. Uyg'urlar bilan kammaydi, Tibetlar bilan kamidi, Mongollar bilan kamidi. Demak, Xitoy kommunistlari da bundaq bir qimmat yo'q, bundaq bir qimmat ko'z qarashi yo'q, buni qilolmaydi.
For instance, Tibetans, under the leadership of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, since 1950 till the 1974, we seek for the independence. However, the circumstances within the country, international politics, we gave up the independence, and since the 1974, we came up with the true meaning of autonomous. Basic rights to have on, preach on religion, speak on art, culture, and just like they have within their Chinese government's legislative, they can have this policy that one country, two policy. We are asking just a small that one.
Biz burun Tibetning mustaqilligini talab qilgandik, keyin 1974-yildan tortib bu mustaqillik talabimizdan voz kechib, oliy avtonomiya talab qildik. Bizningki asosiy huquqlarimizni, diniy erkinligimizni, so'zlash erkinligimizni, madaniyat erkinligimizni bersin. Yani bu haqiqiy bir avtonomiya bersin. Yani bir davlatda ichki siyosat yurgizishdek mandaq bir siyosat yurgizib, bizga bir demokratiya berdi.
However, last but not least, China has a power of guns, but we have a power of truth. Ultimately, the truth will win.
Şu konferansıma ahırıqıca neçə gün to'liq qatnashib, şu sizlarning masalalarini o'zimizning masaladagi o'zgartirib qilmoqchidim. Lekin men bugun kechda Kalgariga uçmoqchi, chunki biz Tibetning demokratiya kunini u yerda tabriklash, Tibetni tabriklash bir murasimi o'tkazdik. Shuni qatnashmasam bo'lmaydi. Ammo men sizlarning yengilganligimga ishonaman, chunki haqiqat degan cho'qim yengil.
Inshallah, one day this flag will be high rise in the high plateau of. Let's unite. Unite is the strength. So let's put ourselves together, fight for our cause till we get our results. No matter how long it will take, no matter how decades it will take, but definitely our DNA has our own rights to fight with the Chinese government. We'll keep on doing it. Let's work together for the bright future. Thank you.
İnşallah bir günün köp bayraklar Sherqiy Turkistanning osmonida labildaydi. Biz Tibetlar sizlar bilan birlashib cho'qim oxirigacha haqiqat uchun, huquqlarimizni elish uchun kurash qilamiz va biz cho'qim
I would like to invite to stage our distinguished guest, Ahmed Egambari. He's the president of East Turkestan government in exile. Please, for the guest.
Assalamu alaikum. Kadirlik aziz vatandaşlar. Suyumlik mihmanlar. Kanada'nın parlamentine kelgan her qaysi teşkilatlardan kelgan aziz qarindoshlar. Bugün biz
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, honorable Canadian Parliament members, and our separate organizations and friends.
Bugün biz bu şu zalda dünyanın her qaysi yerlerinden kelib, Kanada Sherqiy Turkistan Cemiyeti'nin Merkizi Kanada Sherqiy Turkistan Medeniyet Merkizi'nin uyuşturulgan Sherqiy Turkistan davası hakkındaki mühim yığınına katılmışız.
Today we came from all over the world participating challenges and perspectives of East Turkestan National Movement Conference hosted by East Turkestan Cultural Center in Canada.
Ben Xalqaradaki Sherqiy Turkistan Cumhuriyeti sürgündeki hükümetinin prezidenti buluş münasibetim bile sizlerine hemmenlarını Çin konumundan şu yılın kelginonlarını hükümet namidini tebrikleyim.
As a president of the East Turkestan government in exile, thank you very much for everyone coming for this conference.
Hemmenlara ma'lum ki 1949 yılı oktyabirde Xitay komünist işgaliyetçileri bizim ulug' vatanimizni besa oldu.
We all know that in 1949, Chinese Communist government invaded our country and colonized our country.
Şu 65 yıl jarayondan buyon her günü, her saat, her minutda Xitay komünist jallatları vatanimizde çok kichik katliamlarını devamlı verip milyonlagan, 10 milyonlagan vatandaşlarımızda kan deryası kattırdı.
Since it is 65 years, Chinese government killing every day, every minute, innocent Uyghur people, thousands of Uyghur youths, resistance fighters, and civilians.
Bulupma 2009 yılı 5. iyul vakasından keyin Xitay hükümeti Uygurlarını bir millet süptüde dünyadan süpürüp taşlaş üçün her günü kırgınçılıkını yapıyordu. Bulupma şu yakında Ramazan'ın ahir günü heyt başlanılan vaktlarda Yerken şehirde başlanan, yerken naizde başlanan kırgınçılık bakın Allah'a edin lisadı.
Especially since the July 59 incidents in Urumqi, the Chinese government intensified the killing Uyghurs. They want to clean up Uyghurs as a nation. They intensified the ethnic cleansing. I can give one example. Just in this year, the massacre in Yarkand can be one of the examples. We all know about that.
Xitay komünist işgalcileri vatanimizin yer astı, yer üstü baylıklarını her xil hukuklarımızı, kişilik hukuklarımızı tatilleşten taşkırı bugün endi bizden adetki tarihten buyan, 1000 yıldan buyan devamlaşıp kelavatkan imanımızga, dinimizga, Kur'an'ımızga, örf adetimizge hatta ki evlerdeki sakal bırtlarına ayallarının kiygen kiyimleri gece karıştırıp şunun yoktuş işine girişi vardı.
Chinese government not only took over our resources, and our land, and then our country, persecuting our people, but also they attacking our religion right now. They attacking our culture. They won't allow women wearing hijab. They won't allow men wearing mustache.
Xitay hükümetinden bu hareketleri mandak etken çağda Uygur halkını Cumhuriyet milletinin taş kaynağı da kaynatıp hakiki Xitay milletine aylandırmak için.
Because they would like to assimilate Uyghurs. They would like to change Uyghurs as a Chinese. They don't want to see any Uyghur in that country. That's it.
Lekin kahraman halkımız dünyadaki Amerika bilen, Avrupa bilen dünya hücaylılığını tanışıp atman bu callat hakimiyetke karşı çiş tırnağı bilen kuralları bulmagan, zamanını kuralları iyi olan Xitay kısımları karşı bıçak bilen, kaltek bilen ve başka nesler bilen güreş kalatılı.
But our people are heroes. They have nothing. They were unarmed. They don't have weapons. They don't have an army. They have anything. But they are fighting with the China, who was fully armed and they have a power and a force.
Afsus, men afsus ki, başında kıyın ahval astıda, Amerika hükümeti başlığı da, Avrupa memleketleri, bizden atanmış kan kıyındaş cumhuriyetlerimiz, bizden atanmış dini kıyındaşlarımız, Müslümanlar azır gıplette. Ya olmasa, şu facialarını görüp tutsuma, Xitayning dollari tatib bo'lganligi uchun bugun inson haqlarini, demokratiyani Xitoy oyoqosti qilyapsa, shuni qarab turyapti.
For the international world, even Muslim countries, blind eyes towards persecution in East Turkestan because dollar is very sweet. Because of the economic benefit, they just turn their face to us.
Bulup mu yerken vakiyasından ki bizden ümit kılıdıgan arzuyumuz boğan Amerika hükümetinin prezidenti olan Obama reisinin bu meseledeki pozisyası bizden intihayın kayıp kısaldı, ümitsizlendirdi.
Especially after the Yakan massacre, the President Obama's statement we are disappointed with President Obama's statement after Yakan massacre, especially this year.
Dünya şunu bilmeye oturduyken, Xitayning dollari bilen, müşüldakı ütüp gitmez dep oylavatırdı.
The world just believing the dollar, Chinese dollar.
Hazırda Xitayning maksidi yalnız Xitaydaki Uygurlarını, Tibetlerini, Mongollarını olan yok düşemez. Dünyaya hücayin buluş. Bu Xitay'nınki neçe bin yıllık tarihinde Xitay'nın koygan buzallarından birisi. Bugün
China is not only controlling does not want only to control Uyghurs, Tibetans, or Mongols. Their plan is to control the world. They want to be superpower.
Bugün o Uygurların, Tibetçilerin, Mongolların düşmanı olan bilen, evet dünyanın düşmanı. Hazırdan özede başlandı. Mesela hazırda vakitte dünyanın her kaysi yerleri de Xitay özünün iktisadı bilen dünyanı egellep oturdu. Xitay kuralları bilen dünyanı egellep oturdu. Yani bu yıllara dünya hazır itibarsız aşağıda. Lakin şunu düşündüğümüz ki inşallah bizden güreşlerimiz hakiki adalet astığa kurulgan. Biz kalkın yerine bisvamıdır. Biz özümüzden yerine tatkızıp koyduk bunda etken çağda. Bizden görüşümüz adaletlik, haklık gerek. İnşallah bir günüsü biz özümüzden erkinlik, azatlık bayrağı boğan biz Sherqiy Turkistanlıklarını hem Uygurların asası halkların Uygurların zimmisindeki vazife. Şunun için hepimiz ittifaklaşıp müstehkem halde devamlı özümüzün körüşünü devamlaştırmamız lazım.
Because that's the truth. first of all, it's going to be our duty to fight back against the China, get back our country. That's our main duty.
Bugün muşundaq bir yaxshi yig'inni Kanadadagi Sherqiy Turkistan Medeniyet Merkizi uyushtirdi. Bo'libmi merkezning raisi hurmatli elimiz Ahmetjon bu meselede ishada o'tirgan kanadalik qarindoshlarimiz zo'r g'ayrat ko'rsatdi. Shuning bilan Kanada hukumatining parlamentidan kelgan rahbarlar, yo'ldoshlar yig'inimizdan alaydan qutlab, nəhayət yaxshi so'zlarni qildi. Sizlardan har biringlarga rahmat aytaman.
Thank you very much for Armand Ruster who organized this conference, and thank you very much for Canadian Parliament members and the other support organizations. Thank you, especially thank you for their speech, and we wish you the best.